Let's have a look at this. I put a tweet out today. I'm not going to go and get it because I can't be bothered. Which was Marama. Maybe I'll get it later. Marama putting the best face in the world when she was standing next to David Seymour, trying to get as far away from him as possible. It was utterly glorious. On my Twitter feed, if you want to see it, maybe I'll bring it up at the end of the show. And they did a lot of talk. They talked about the Marine and Coastal Area Bill, and it did seem a little school reportish. You know, I'll ask Marama a question. David, do you want to ask the next question? Moving on. Like there was no interaction. But at about 5 minutes in, they started talking. They were coming to the end of their conversation around the Future Fund, and they went into a conversation around doctors' changes and then into the strikes. And it kind of got a bit more. And I'm not looking for just entertainment, but to be honest, if I'm watching something and I can just read it in an article exactly as I can see it on a screen, what's the point? So this is a bit more interesting toing and froing between the two. Starting with the end of it, as David Seymour is basically trying to say, how can a government be a business? You know, they're trying to be investors, and they're losing it, and all these things in the past haven't worked, and it's not going to work. And this is where he comes into the conversation.
Had Elevate, the Greens had the Green Investment Fund. What they have in common is they've all taken money that really belongs to taxpayers. They've tried to become venture capitalists. They've invested in a bunch of businesses, and mostly they've lost, and we end up as taxpayers paying off the debt. You know, what Labor is saying is they're going to take $1 billion a year in dividends from companies that the taxpayer currently owns and punt it on a few other companies. Now, I just put it to you, the reason that all these previous versions have failed is that if politicians knew what to invest in, they wouldn't have to come round and ask for money for their campaigns because they'd just be so...
Yeah, but that's why they've given it to the guardians of the super fund.
The truth is that politicians can't.
Yeah, that's why...
Yeah, okay, but who gives the... Yeah, okay, but who gives the writing instructions? So the politicians are going to say what sort of things. Just like all of those previous ones I mentioned, exactly the same problem.
Hey,
when it comes to the GPs, when it comes to the GPs, I mean, we've just...
There was a little one. See that face? Watch that face. Just watch Marama, nothing else.
When it comes to the GPs, when it comes to the GPs, I mean, we've just increased GP funding by 14%. The ACT Party campaigned on that. The government's done it. That's politicians actually making the decision so that
make GPs free,
so people can get in to see their
get in there, Marama.
Marama,
it's not free. It's a question of taxpayer money.
Sir Brian Roche is on holiday apparently on the Gold Coast. This as the mega strike's going to happen tomorrow. Do you think he should be home?
Really want to put all our total from...
Can I just say, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, I won't after this. I'll try not to after this. Marama, Chloe, these people are two of the people who are the best in the House at taking a question. What the right does is they'll then put out their narrative. What Marama and Chloe does is they make sure they get their narrative there whilst answering the question. Like, honestly, they are the best at doing it.
Think he should be home?
Really want to put all our tautoko from the Green Party to our striking workers today who deserve to be paid fairly and have safe working conditions. Unlike the Prime Minister yesterday at question time who declared that nurses have safe working conditions. He's really got to get out more and speak to the people on the front line who are telling this government, ensure the safety for our workers, for our community, and pay them what they deserve. Kia kaha.
What about Sir Brian Roche? Do you think he should be in town?
Oh, look, I'm more interested in what this government does, the political decisions, the choices that this government is making.
I think Marama did miss a goal there because she's pretty good at being able to, like, whatever the appropriate version is. I don't give a fuck if he's here or not. This is the thing that matters, you know, and not obviously not those words, but an appropriate, well, it's on the internet thing for there to basically go, why is that the stupid question? That's not the question that we're going to be answering, just so you know. I don't care if he's here or not. The importance is what's going on around the departments or the part of government that he's responsible for. That's, you know, we'll spin it.
Does the political decisions, the choices that this government is making, billions to landlords, tobacco companies and offshore oil barons, can't pay the nurses properly.
The government has, through the Public Services Commission, has released these Facebook ads and it's drawn the ire of opposition.
Now, David Seymour, whether it's $200 or $200,000, David Seymour is the one politician that should actually go, this is a waste of taxpayers' money. This is a waste of taxpayers' money, let alone is it ethical, let alone any of those other things. The Axe Party, and the what do you call them? The libertarian stance that they claim that they are, is the one party that you should hear them actually agree with that thing that Luxon says.
We want a government that cares about how every single dollar is spent, because every single dollar the government spends is ultimately a dollar from your pocket.
And it is only, I don't even know if it's thousands yet, but it was hundreds yesterday. He should be incredibly opposed to this if he has any ethical consistency.
MPs. I don't know if you can quite see that. What it says is graduate nurses would have seen an 11% increase to their salaries on their 1-year anniversary, an extra $8,300 when including annual progression. I suppose they're trying to set the record straight with some facts about what has been offered.
Alleged facts, you should probably say there, Ryan. How do you know they're facts? So far, most of what we've heard out of this government to do with the strike is horse shit.
To some of these union members across the different sectors. Is it, in putting your, sensible hat on, as I know you have, is that a justified use of taxpayer money?
It's not a sex term, is it? I'm a bit naive.
It's now.
He's not talking. It's not like a dirty kind of. You got your sensible hat on. He's not saying. I'm a bit lost. I'm tired, so I'm missing things. I haven't. No. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll keep going.
Well, I think what you've got to remember is we're in a negotiation on behalf of taxpayers. Our job is to get a good deal so that patients and students are getting an education and healthcare for a price that's affordable. Back here in the real world, where everyone, including the government,
I oppose if it's a single dollar wasted. I oppose it.
Pretty tight right now, and it is a fact that under what is being offered and under what's being paid in the last few years, nurses are now getting paid $127,000 at the top of the scale. That's before any recent offers. That's the
interesting messaging. He's changed that. Did you hear that? $127,000 at the top of the scale. I'm pretty sure that's what it used to be average. Pretty sure that was what they were saying for nurses is the average, and now it's at the top of the scale. So make sure you're clear at the top of the scale. Interesting.
I didn't hear that, Pat. I heard something completely different. Are you familiar with the cartoon Snoopy?
I am, and the teacher in particular.
Wah, 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 wah.
We should do that one day. I can't remember. There was someone who said we wouldn't hear from anyone. We'd play Jabba the Hutt noises behind them. I can't remember what it was though. So we'd never hear from them again. Every time they asked a question, the interviewer would just be be quite funny.
I bet he'd sound different if the next question out of Ryan's mouth was, so let's talk about Tim Jago.
Or if it was, can you now show us your sensible hat? I'm sorry. I'm tired. I am sorry. I'm sorry.
South Wales, a state in that case that actually has higher incomes and more tax to pay.
This is what Anne was saying tonight.
Place. Teachers, 60% of them over $100,000. They've had a 14% increase in the last 3 years. That's more than the taxpayers who are paying tax to fund these services have had.
Remember, it's not a lie, but this is where, what's that saying, Chewie? Facts, damn lies, and statistics, or whatever it is. That 14% increase is accurate, but that brought them to about a 1985 level of parity. Because what they needed to get back to 2025 parity was about 30%. So he's right. He's correct saying they've had that 14%, but that still leaves them about 20 or 30 years behind where they should be. Sorry, Joe.
This is one of the three things that David Seymour is really good at is misinterpreting or maliciously massaging the numbers. He's very, very good at that. The other two things he's good at are sheltering pedophiles and providing character references for murderers. So, it's good to have a broad portfolio of being a shitty person.
How much influence would the leader of a political party have to the hiring of the president of that political party? Do you think that they'd be the deciding factor, or would they have to be completely removed because they're separate departments? Because if the leader of a political party has a lot of sway or influence or a big vote towards the president of the party, there's another conversation we could be having about Tim Jago and the what did we say? The character the observation of the character of someone, of the people who employed him. Just putting it out there. This has only got about 30 seconds. Let's get to the end of this.
And I think it is reasonable. I understand the concern about government, using public money to advertise its position, but I do think the public deserves... That was his big. They shouldn't be doing it. Listen to it again. Using public money to advertise its position.
That's
but
it.
I do think the public deserve to know that we're trying to balance valuing very important professions. No one is questioning the value of nurses, doctors, or teachers.
But you are questioning the value, because if you value, that's why diamonds cost a lot, because people value them. They have a monetary value to them. If something is not paid for, if something doesn't cost very much, innately it has less value than something that costs more. So paying the teachers, paying the nurses so little and so poorly on a world scale actually shows the opposite of what you're saying. It does actually show you do not value them. I would like to bring you across to my company as the CEO. We would really value your insights, the experience you've had, the paths you'll be in, and I'm prepared to offer you half of what you're earning at the company right now. But we really value you. I don't think so. I don't think any nurse or teacher does it for the money, but the byproduct of it is they should be paid what they are worth. They should be valued both emotionally, spiritually, sensitively, and financially.
Very important professions. No one is questioning the value of nurses, doctors, or teachers, with a fiscal reality that we have to raise these taxes from a whole lot of other New Zealand taxpayers who want their services, want their education, want their health, and are also doing it pretty tough. So getting some facts out there, not the worst idea.
All right. Yeah, so of course, you don't have to raise the taxes on anybody to give them pay rises. You could just get it back from Big Tobacco, or get it back from Chewie's favourite family, the Mowbrays, or get it back from landlords. You wouldn't have to raise a cent on anyone else's tax. Chewie.
Isn't it really funny? Whenever we go down the path of like, there's not enough money, and anybody that said that we can get more money is talking about taxing everyone. No one is suggesting a broad range of increasing taxes across the entirety of pay scales in New Zealand. We're very clearly saying it's a combination of targeting those that are not pulling their weight, the very lucky, the people that have benefited from this country, everything that this country has to give them, and a combination of maybe not giving money away to people who don't need it. The property-owning class, who are absolutely creaming it off the people that can't get onto the property ladder. You facetious fuck.
I thought about this today, and I think where I'm going to land on the people who don't need it is going to be the people who need it least, and it's being taken away from the people who need it most. Because there will be some people who are highly mortgaged, who have they have one investment property and it's their retirement scheme, and they're going to benefit from it. But they need it least. There are going to be people who own 212 properties who don't need it. So it's from the people who need it least, taken away from the people who need it most.
That's not the right family. That's not the Mowbrays.
No. I'm with you. They don't need it.
God, I hate Seymour.